a brand new episode of ET Market Wrap only on ET Markets live stream where we discuss all about outlook for next week as well as what's happening in the markets right now. I'm your host Neha Vashisht Mahajan and I'm here with Mr. Kranthi Bathini. He's the equity strategist at Wealth Mills Securities. Thank you so much, Mr. Kranthi, for taking out time and joining us today on ET Markets live stream.
Thank you, Neha. Thanks for inviting me on your show.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. So let's quickly start our session for today, and let's start with the Sensex and Nifty first. So Sensex and Nifty both are up close to 1.5% as we speak right now. Last 2 days have been thankfully positive for the markets, contrary to what happened earlier. What do you think is happening in the markets right now?
Yeah, Neha, what we have witnessed is last week also, we thought the FPA selling would subsidize some extent. But yesterday and all, the FPA selling has been very ferocious. It's more than around 5,000 crores. Those so FPA selling, they have been doing in an unprecedented way. Thanks to the DIS, domestic institutional investors, and also the retail investors, which stood behind the market, and these legion of investors are helping the market to stand. Otherwise, it would have been a different case in the markets.
Hmm.
Coming to your point, okay, the markets after touching the 200-day moving average of Nifty, so it's bounced back from there. So it seems to be bottomed out around Nifty on 23,400, that range, and right now we are at 23,700, which is a very positive move. We could able to sustain above these level. That's very important for the medium to short term positive direction of the market. Otherwise, we'll be getting into a long consolidations if the market drift down from this level. So these levels are very crucial for the market. So if
Hmm.
market could able to uh, come out of this range of 23,750, 800, these are all strong resistance zones for the market. So if we could
Hmm.
able to sustain above this level, we can see the rallies to sustain. Thanks to the global cues have also supported the markets, and also the geopolitical issues have been one hand creating some tension to the market, and the other hand, the Adani issue has propped in again somewhere the other, that created extra volatility on the market. Today, the
Right.
global cues are helping the market to come out of this range.
Right. So as you mentioned about Adani, my next query is about Adani stocks. So Adani stocks are always going through something or the other. Yesterday, we saw major losses in some of the biggest Adani stocks after the US indictment came, but the stocks did reverse today, did reverse some losses, recovered some losses today. Want to understand your view on Adani stocks right now. What do you think about this situation?
Um, Neha will, with respect to Adani is concerned, will divide your question and will answer your question in two parts. One is,
Sure.
if I am an existing investor, I already invested in Adani shares, what should I do? And since these stocks are corrected in this market and the valuations looks attractive on a relative basis, so to speak, whether I can take the position or not. First thing is,
Hmm.
uh, uh, the Adani Group shares have been one of the key wealth creators till the Hindenburg report dampened the market sentiment for Adani Groups. And we have seen how the market capitalization of these companies have multiplied, and also the valuations overstretched for these companies. From Hindenburg, after this Hindenburg episode and all, majority of these stocks, I can say 60 to 70% of Adani Group companies have been in a long consolidation, except a few like Adani Enterprises, which is their flagship company, that could able to rally from a level of 800 to it went above 3,000 levels also. Uh,
Hmm.
Coming to your point, all these businesses of Adani groups, they are into the infrastructure majorly. It can be power, ports, airports, incubating business like data center, coal trading, and the new businesses they acquired like the cement businesses. These are strong business models over a period of time. The power business, the transmission business, and all. And what the green energy, the solar, and so on a longer term basis, these businesses can give a good sustainable cash flows over a period of time, uh, on a longer term perspective. In the medium
Hmm.
term, these stocks are perceived as the high beta stocks. They respond, and we don't know when we build up a position what kind of news
Hmm.
will come from the internally or from the overseas. Okay, we don't know. So investors who want to invest in these companies, the fresh investors, they should
Hmm.
ready for this volatility, and also they should understand the associated risks investing in these companies. Uh, so one should be prepared. If I am an investor, I'm risk averse. I don't want to see this
Hmm.
kind of volatility. These group stocks are not suitable for those investors. These group stocks, when an investor is ready to face that risk and the volatility, okay, for them only these kind of stocks are suitable. Coming to the existing investor, I invested in this company. What should I do now? So
Hmm.
as per the recent the news and all, how it's going to evolve, we need to see. The charges have been framed by external um, uh, uh, court in a different jurisdiction, but because of
Hmm.
the SEC laws, okay, they are liable for the causes that created. So now coming
Hmm.
to the point, okay, these are the charges framed. So they have a chance to contest, okay, and we need to see how the things are going to evolve. As prima facie, the group has denied all these allegations or the charges framed by the court. So
Right.
fundamentally, the sentiment has dampened, and also the reputation risk is there. And the group, because all their businesses, wherever the businesses are there, they need a continuous cash flows, and they need continuous liquidity that has to be infused because of the capacity expansions they do, the kind of acquisitions they do, and also the
Hmm.
infrastructure businesses, they comes up with the long gestation periods, so they need a required capital. So rising capital, because the Adani Group, they plan to raise around 600 million USD from in terms of the bonds. Okay, that has delayed, but they can make, given the kind of the global liquidity available, uh,
Hmm.
probably there there's they need to increase their bond yields, and that can impact their spreads at this point of time. But by and large, nothing to worry at this point of time. We need to see how the things are going to evolve. This is for the existing investors. I'm an investor,
Okay.
okay, because we witnessed how Adani Group shares 3 4 years back, how they rallied. I missed the rally.
Hmm.
I want to buy these stocks at the bottom. One should be prepared for these kind of associated risks.
Okay. And for new investors who are high risk investors, can they buy the dip right now?
Yeah, and at the same point of time, they should be prepared if there is some other bad news, because you and me don't know how things are going to evolve.
Hmm.
Okay, because
Right.
the politics and the different jurisdictions, different governments are involved in all these things. So they should be
Hmm.
prepared if they want to take risk. There are some good quality businesses like Adani Ports, Ambuja Cements, and the transmission businesses. So there are, and the enterprises, the flagship company is concerned. So these are the embedded value is there in these companies. So if I
Hmm.
am okay for those risks, uh, if tomorrow if it comes down, yeah, if I'm okay, okay, one can venture into these business models, chip into these business models.
All right. So let's also discuss about what's happening in the markets right now. The banking sector seems to be fueling the markets as of now. If we take a look at Bank Nifty, it is also up around 1.4% today, around 51,009. Uh, just wanted to get an idea of the overall banking sector, including PSU bank index also.
As far banks are concerned, uh, uh, and the Q2 quarterly results are good for the banks. We have seen consistent improvement in the credit growth, and also the
Hmm.
profitability. But right now, but the banking sector is still, as per the stock prices are concerned, bank Nifty has been in a consolidation phase. So,
Hmm.
but the weightage for the banking and financial services is very high for the
Right.
both the Nifty as well as Sensex. Now coming to the point, when the market got corrected from 26,000 Nifty from the present level of 23,500,
Hmm.
what the spot Nifty is. So the banking stocks on a medium to longer term perspective looks attractive for the investors. Both it can be the public sector banks like State Bank of India or a private sector bank like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC. They have been in a long consolidation phase. In fact, they have not
Hmm.
participated in the recent rallies also. So if the investor have a medium to longer term, and also there sometimes we get a news of early rate cut, sometimes we get a news of no rate cut is get delayed. So that has been creating some kind of
Hmm.
enthusiasm in the market. So
Yeah. So, Mr. Kranthi, I
Neha,
think
am I
we
audible?
lost you for a few seconds. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. I think we lost you for a few seconds. I think you're back on screen now. So, let's,
Neha, am I
before
audible?
moving to the, yes, yes, you are. You are. So, before moving
Yes.
to the queries from the audience, let's cover the last thing, last leg of our session, which is the market outlook for next week. What is going to happen? What could happen next week? What are the Nifty levels to watch out for? And also, just wanted to know, will this emotion in the markets, the sentiment in the markets that we are seeing right now, which is fairly positive, could this continue next week or what could happen? What's your take on this?
Yeah, one thing is with respect to the domestic events are concerned, with respect to the market levels, 23,900. This is the level which is acting as a resistance zone. Market could able to sustain above this level, and if the market could able to comfortably uh, pass through the 24,000 level, the medium
Hmm.
to short term up trend it reiterates. It signifies the uptrend of for the market in the medium to short term. If the market is coming below the current range, if we are not able
Hmm.
to sustain what the gains we made, okay, we can see some kind of prolonged consolidation at this point of time. We can say right now we are at a pivotal point from for the market. So how the
Hmm.
global events and also the FIs, whether they are going to be the net sellers or can we witness some kind of softening with respect to the FI sellings are concerned, and also from the peak markets have at fairly valued zone at this point of time, whether the
Hmm.
FPIs can turn to be the net buyers at this point of time. These are the factors that are going to play in the coming week. But at this moment, we need to see the levels of 24,850 and 24,900. These are the crucial levels we need to wait and watch.
All right. So let's quickly pick some queries from the audience and then we'll close our session for today. I'm picking Himanshu's query first. He's asking, hi sir, what is the outlook on NTPC green listing gains?
He asked a question, interesting question. He is talking about NTPC listing gains thanks to the positive market today. So people started talking about the listing gains. Otherwise, if at all the case, like yesterday, nobody thinking
Hmm.
about the listing gains. But it's a
Right.
fairly valued stock at this point of time. But we need to see how the market trend is going to be. But by and large, the listing gains, if he is purely asking for the listing gains, you need to restrict his appetite. There can be a moderate listing gains for NTPC. The business model is a quite long term, okay, and it is fully priced in at this point of time. So I don't think so. There are going to be a moderate kind of 5 to 10% listing gains he can expect.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I pursue this stock by and large for a longer term, not for the listing gains.
All right. Another very interesting query we have is from Varun. He's asking, will Maharashtra election outcome affect the markets? If so, yes, how?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, there can be a sentimental impact. Okay, on the
Hmm.
markets. But by and large, as the exit polls mentions, okay, so uh, we need to see how the things. But by and large, in terms of the sentiment, definitely Maharashtra elections are going to have some kind of impact. But in terms of the company's earnings and also the policy making of the central government is concerned,
Hmm.
there may not be such a long-term impact. It is just for a
Temporary impact.
very short-term impact would be there.
All right. One last query is from Divya. Divya is asking, please suggest for Adani Enterprises, should I add more on dips or not?
If the investor is a longer term investor, there are embedded values. They have strong businesses under Adani Enterprises. The stock got corrected. Today,
Hmm.
it's showing the positive momentum. So, if the investor have a risk appetite, she can definitely add on dips.
All right. So we are done with the queries from the audience for now, and with that, we have reached the end of our segment as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Kranthi, for taking out time and joining us today on ET Market Wrap, only on ET Markets live stream.
Thank you, Neha. Always my pleasure to share my views with all the viewers of ET Markets and